Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Magic the Gathering Arena. In this one I'm going to be doing another Shadows over Innistrad Remastered draft. I'm really enjoying it, actually enjoying it more than I thought I would be. The last one was a bit of a failure. We only got 250 gems, only got 2 wins, but we did try 4 colour nonsense, and I'll be honest, I'm not ruling out trying it again. So, if you enjoy this sort of content, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons. Join us on the Patreon in the description box down below, or most of all, please do drop a comment. It really does mean a lot to me every time I get a comment. It makes a big difference to my day. But for now, I just want to jump in and see what we can find. So, Shadows Innistrad Remastered. We've done a couple of green-black decks. We've done one blue-red deck. We've done one black-red deck. And I think that's pretty... Oh, that was quick. We are ready. Let's see what happens here. But I want to see if maybe we can go another dark type. We hoped to go white, green-white last time, but didn't really pan out. And we ended up with... I mean, technically we were green and white. We had a white card and a green card. I mean, lots more green cards, but... No, it was Splashing Nahiri and Ulrich, so if you haven't seen that, go back and check out that video. It wasn't necessarily the most successful, but it was a lot of fun to do, so some pretty awful games, but some pretty reasonable ones as well, including someone just scooping straight away to pretty much Nahiri onto an empty board. So, what have we got? Topplegeist is really good for spirits, as is Angelic Purge. Devil's Playground is fun, just the 4 devils. What's this one? Outrider. I'll reveal top 4, put a human card into your hand and the rest of the bottom in any order. I'm really tempted to go for the Topplegeist and just try and push spirits, where Essence Flux is quite good. And I think, honestly, Outrider's the only other one here. We've not done much in the way of white. And I think this is just a more generically useful card. So I'm going to go with this. The other considerations is probably the Outrider. Devil's Playground always was good. I'm not complaining about that. In fact, this whole first row except Blood Mist is pretty decent. But I just want to play the Topplegeist deck. If we can get, say, 2 Topplegeists, maybe 3, and then just loads of Delirium things and Spirit synergies, like Nebelgast Heralds and that sort of thing, we're in a fantastic spot. So Griff's Boon is actually really powerful in terms of just aggro. Epiphany at the Drownyard, I love this card. I had so much fun with it. Basically, reveal the top cards of your library, separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses 1 pile, put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So it's not great unless you've got a bit more pressure, as in unless you get you know what you're doing, you get a bit of value out of it. But Griff's Boon, on the other hand, is fantastic. The downside of this is your opponent gets to pick, basically. That's what I was trying to say, but didn't say it very well. I'm going to take Griff's Boon. It is super aggro. If we wheel Thraben Spectre, we go, or even Humans aggro, Griff's Boon is really, really good. It's just additional power and additional, and sort of recursion for it as well, so it's really, really good. Okay, so we've got Prized Amalgam, which is very powerful. It was the whole Dredge archetype came back because of it. But with all of these here, and we've got a blue card that's useful. We're not in this yet, and I think our white cards are good enough to stick to that. I'm just going to take Tattered Haunter. So it is a spirit, it's a 2/1 flyer, it can only block other flyers, but again, I think that's enough. Now, what have we got here? This is looking like an interesting pack. Puncturing Light is just a good solid removal spell. Spontaneous Mutation is also a good solid removal spell, but is also an enchantment, which helps our Delirium a little bit. But I think for the first one, we want a Puncturing Light before Spontaneous Mutation, just because it does kill things straight out. Here we have Drag Under. I loved Drag Under. Drag Under was fantastic in this. It's just put something back in the hand, draw a card, get your tempo. I'm taking that just because I love it. This was one of my favourite cards to draft in this whole format. Sometimes there are some big things in this format, even though it does sometimes play out a bit slower. You can just sometimes put auras on things. If they put a Bound by Moonsilver on your creature, if they put a Luminarch Ascension on Lunarch's Mantle on theirs, just send it back to the hand, draw a card, sometimes even ditch one of those. The amount of enchantments make this really worth it. If we came against things like Invocation of Saint Traft, that would be an awesome thing to target. You just put it back in the hand, waste their rare, take 4 less damage in the air per turn. I like the start of this deck, basically. The key things will be a Nebelgast Herald, if I can find 1 or 2 of those. More spirits for synergies, things to trigger the Topplegeist. It needs to be just sort of a tempo aggressive, deck basically. So on these, there's perfectly reasonable black cards, but nothing good. Warm Willow is always mediocre. Like, it's fine, but it's not great. I'm just going to take Jace's Scrutiny. It's a spell, it's a good for tempo. You can essentially gain yourself 4 life in some situations, and investigating can be really powerful as well. So this, again, overperforms in this format. Well, at least it did in the paper version. It was one of those cards that you think, that shouldn't be good, and in practice it just turned out to be way, way better. Okay, so Lunarch Mantle is super aggressive, but really good if you're going for it. Essence Flux can be good in spirits, but it's easier to get hold of. You may cast it from exile, but when it comes to target of spell and ability your opponent controls, exile it. I like this because it just comes back over and over. It can be really hard to deal with. And I think we probably get a Lunarch Mantle later. I want to take Eternal Scourge. The ability part is awkward, but I don't think there's that many that do it. Hope Against Hope gets 1+1 for each creature you control, and if it's a human, has First Strike. It is powerful. Spirit Cleric, though, probably more on tune, but this can just really push damage through, especially if we're going to have a few cheap flyers. I think we're going for the Hope Against Hope. I do want to pick some of those other options up. Again, we do want an Essence Flux. Faithbearer Paladin is good, but Essence Flux can be just a save yourself from removal. It can be a tap down spell if you get the Nebelgast Herald. It's got a good lot of synergy in the Spirits deck. We currently do have 2 Spirits, so not tons. Genuinely just Toppelgeist and Tattered Haunter, I believe. And we're going to start looking for more to pick this up. I may I don't feel like I am, but it probably looks a bit like I'm forcing this. I do like Eternal Scourge though. It can be very hard to deal with for your opponent sometimes. Okay, so here as a bit of a strange pick, I'm going to take the Pyrehound. We have got some blue spells already, and it is very powerful when it does work. This Stitcher's Apprentice is good in the zombie deck, but we're not looking to be towards the zombies. Again, good black cards, but nothing that we're really looking for. I'm going to take the Neonate in case we end up in the blue-red. On a similar note, Magmatic Chasm, I think. I don't like this. I don't like picking up cards that are off colour. Borrowed Grace can be good. Creatures you control getting +2/+0 for 3 is really good when we're aggressive cards. Devilthorn Fox, not great, but it can make the deck. We don't want it to, but it can do. Sensia Masquerade, we just don't want to be playing it. Okay, so Handweight Garrison is powerful enough with Griff Spoon to even just consider going red-white here. I mean, we've got a 1 Griff Spoon already. The blue cards aren't fantastic. Maybe we should have been red. There's a Galvanic Bombardment, which won't wheel, but that would have been nice. I'm going to take the Garrison and see where we end up, because there's a world here. Because these blue cards aren't that special. They're fine. Toppelgeist is still good in an aggressive deck anyway. Borrowed Grace is good. Hope Against Hope is good. It's in the humans deck. Handweight Garrison, I believe, is a human for now. If we can, we could try and get the land and go for the 7/4 Writhing Township, but I'm not holding my breath for that one. But if no one else has seen it, then they're more likely to pass it. Okay, I'm looking at maybe going red-white now. Red-white aggro is not my favourite archetype. In fact, it's probably my least favourite. I still remember going 3-0 in a draft in person, and best of 3s, and winning every single game, and having the least fun I've ever had because it was maybe Amonkhet, something else. One of the formats where red-white aggro was just the best thing you could do, and it was just silly. Okay, here we've got to decide between Fiery Temper and Lightning Axe. So Lightning Axe is a discard outlet, whereas Fiery Temper can be discarded. We've already got Neonate here. I think I like Fiery Temper just because it can go face. I think it's slightly more efficient than Lightning Axe, even though Lightning Axe has got its upsides. And again, the blue things aren't really coming here. We'll go with Fiery Temper. I think I like the first Temper over the first Lightning Axe, but then I think it goes Temper, Lightning Axe, Temper, and you go back to Tempers after that. I'm not sure. but we need more discard to make it work anyway. So, as this stands, Essence Flux isn't great. That isn't great in this list. Pyrehound can be fine in aggressive list. These are the only two real blue cards that are worth anything, so I'm not ruling out blue, but this is where I think we're heading towards at the moment. Got a little bit of pack backlog. Now this would be where I'd like to find an Ahiri, or what else is in this format? I mean, Dauntless Cathar would be a nice draw, a nice pickup. Obviously things like Town Gossipmonger would be great, or the... Oh my god, I always forget Thraben Inspectors. I keep forgetting Thraben Inspector's name. Ugh, excuse me. You can tell it's been a long time since I played a lot of Magic, seeing as I'm regularly forgetting cards' names that I played with tons and tons of times. Oh wow, definite backlog over there. I mean, Tamio's Journal is one of my favourite things to play, but it's not right for this deck. Sigardian Priest... Excuse me. Sigardian Priest taps a non-human creature. How are we doing for creatures? Only 6. So as much as I like Lunarch Mantle and Sigardian Priest and Trueface Sensor, I think we have to pick Dauntless Cathar here. It's just a good creature, pretty reasonable. It's 2 bodies essentially, and then we can get these things, we can pump them up later, and I do think those are more likely to wheel. Like, Dauntless Cathar is always just good, but some of the others are just better. Equip 2/2 gets discard a card. This just pumps something up. You know, it's not fantastic, but it's a pump spell. We've got 2 1-drops that we can pump up, but I think it probably is the Cathar again first. We could go for the Stentia Masquerade if we needed to, but it's only going to be attacking creatures get first strike at this point. The upside of it is if we've got like a lightning axe, we could maybe cast it instant speed and get someone basically. Okay, what do we want here? So it's probably Cathar. We could do an act of treason, but we don't have any sacrifice effects. Ember Eye Wolf can be really good, but it's just not that much without investment. Howlback's aggressive, but I think I'm just going to take Steadfast Cathar. I like the attacking as a 2/3. You know, it's pretty good as an attacking 2/3 for 2 mana. This is an aggressive list, and I don't feel like we've quite got enough sort of push through for damage, so we need to get the Lunarch Mantles. The Strength of Arms would be good, but if we've got a couple of equipments as well. Having this Eternal Scourge is nice. Which was this? Sack another creature, gets +2/+1, activate with Delirium. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. Nothing else here. Crypto Fragment could actually be funny in this. Like, it's the right sort of thing for this sort of list. But I think a 5/3, sorry, a 5 and a 3/3, the upside there. This could just be a finisher. We could just put that out. Anything we couldn't deal with can just deal with it. Doom Traveller's good. Alchemist Greeting's good. Nearhearth Chaplain's good. I think we probably want the Greeting. We're a little bit lacking in removal so far. We wouldn't mind getting one of these two at some point. Oh, the Fiendbinder is also great. I think we need the Greeting, and we have to hope to just get some more of these. Another Cathar is really good for us here. So now we've got enough bodies for things. We can go back to Strength of Arms is just what I want here. So Strength of Arms being a really efficient pump spell, gives a unit +2/+2, and if we control an equipment, create a 1/1 human, which is good for us. I don't want to play the Devilthorn Fox if we can, so take an Apparatus just also helps enable Delirium for the things that matter. We've got a Lunarch Mantle or a Sigardian Priest. So we've got Tapper or Mantle. I think the Tapper is going to be more valuable, but the Lunarch Mantle is something we want to get 1 copy of. Guardian of Pilgrims just pumps a creature for a turn, so that's good. We'll take that. Probably not playing the Pyrehound here. Ember Eye Wolf can go in the sideboard. Merciless Resolve, sure. What else have we got? Fiendbinder came back, wow. Great for us. Faith Unbroken, a really fantastic tempo play. So that's absolutely going to be our pick here. This is a really good unit. But Faith Unbroken, it's 4 mana to basically 2 for 1 for the turn. Ooh, Collective Defiance. This thing is incredible. So, target player discards all the cards in their hand, then draws that many cards. Deals 4 damage to target creature and 3 damage to an opponent or planeswalker. So for 4 mana, you can deal 4 to them and 3. So yeah, 4 to the creature and 3 to the opponent. I'm taking that. I'd love to wheel Gossipmonger, Neonate, even Howlpack Wolf, maybe. Strength of Arms, probably better than that. We are at 14 creatures, so it's a good creature count. We do have to remember things like the Eternal Scourge, it's only when they target. Okay, what have we got here? +4, +2, sack a creature, Apothecary Geist, another Cathar, Incendiary Flow, there we go, that's what we got. 3 damage, 2 mana, sorcery speed, can't get any better than that. It's burn, it's removal, everything we could want. We will take that in a heartbeat. So now I actually feel like we've got a really good amount of removal as well. Interesting. It's a shame we can't. We don't have too many ways of exiling things from our graveyard. If we had like a Relic of Progenitus, tap to exile this from our graveyard, we could just sack it every turn to the Reaper and replay it. Let's see. Excuse me yawning here. It is a little bit late at the time of recording this, so I'm only going to be doing the draft now and figuring out the games later. Humble the Brute is reasonable. A second Sigardian Priest could be nice, but a 4 or greater and Investigate. There's not that many big things, so I think I'd rather have another Priest. They're not that efficient, but 1 to tap it is good, even though the actual stats themselves aren't great. Stitcher's Graft is the... it doesn't untap, yeah. And when it becomes... yeah, so it doesn't untap for 1 turn. But I think that could be worth it. I'm going to take it. If we get a True Faith Sensor, give something Vigilance, we're absolutely going to play that. It's also really good with Strength of Arms, Griffspoon, that sort of thing. Let's see where we go. I'd love to find a True Faith Sensor here. So we've got another Strength of Arms, Make Mischief, or Gaia Reach Bandit. We're kind of stuffed up on 3s here with all the Dauntless Cathars, so I'm just going to take a second Strength of Arms. The pump spells are going to be really good for us. So Skurzak Cultist is decent. Sacrifice a creature to deal 2 damage to any target. I actually think we probably just want the Whelp and just go for a Menace attack. So that probably replaces the Devilthorn Fox, which is a bit lackluster. We've got a few cuts to make here as well, so we need to figure out what we're doing. We're not a Pyrehound deck anymore. That was a speculative choice, so we can pull that out. How many humans have we got? Got 8. Excuse me a moment. Oh, sorry, I was going to mute that then, but we found True Face Sensor. So we've got the two equipments that we wanted. Those two work great together. I don't care about the Geist, but a second Fiendbinder could also be good. We've got a Magmatic Chasm. Between the Fiendbinders and the Sigardian Priests, we might actually be able to find a world where they just can't block. And we've still got Hanway Garrison. We didn't get the battlements, but Hanway Garrison is still really solid with Griffspoon. Or even just Strength of Arms, or anything True Face Sensor. It's really good. We might not need the Reaper. Reaper's quite expensive for what we're trying to do, and with 2 Fiendbinders, I don't think we need any help getting through. How are we doing for creatures? 14, so it's probably non-creatures we want to remove. Borrowed Grace is good. It's a real just push damage through spell. Oh wow, we got the Gossipmonger. Gossipmonger is going to be great for this list. We should be curving into a 2-drop almost every game. Make Mischief I remember being reasonable, but we're probably not playing it. A second Puncturing Light. We'll put it in for now, but we're probably removing it somehow. Don't need a Chasm. Don't need a Howlpack Wolf. Don't need a Grace. Okay, this isn't the worst. This has turned out okay. I'm going to try the Stitcher's Graft out. If we get anything with Vigilance going, it's great. And, you know, we can use it to sacrifice things even though we probably don't want to. But even then, if they, like, give one of our creatures, like, if they give a Dauntless Cathara, like a Bound by Moonsilver, we could just move that over, equip it, move it back off again. It's a very slow plan, but it gets there. Excuse me for yawning again. Okay, so let's look at it this way. What have we got for removal? So we've got Fiery Temper, which is probably a 3 in our list. Incendiary Flow. We've got Faith Unbroken and Alchemist Greeting and Collective Defiance. Alchemist Greeting I don't think we can cast most of the time. It's 5, it's a very expensive. Oh, we've got 2 Puncturing Lights as well. I think we're taking out Alchemist Greeting. I think Borrowed Grace might be optimistic, because we've got some decent pump spells anyway. This does have the option of potentially just ending someone though. I do think Magmatic Chasm is maybe a push here. Explosive Apparatus can go, we don't need that. Our Delirium isn't that important in this list. We've got a couple of things but not too many. Given that we've got instant sorcery to creatures on land, it is not unreasonable that we get things into the graveyard. They're going to want to destroy these. Griff's Boon can get in there, I suppose. As can Borrowed Grace, yeah. So maybe we're not a Chasm. Oh, Chasm's so good in this situation. So, what isn't a pump spell or a removal spell? Pump spell. Oh my goodness! I've just realised. Hope against Hope on Canway Garrison is nuts. Okay, we're keeping that. So how many 2-drops we got? Guardian, 2 Priests, Cathar, Whelp. So that's 5. We've got 3 good 1-drops. That's 2 to equip. This is going to be a difficult cut. Because 15 creatures feels about right, but that only leaves us with 8 spells. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at halfway there before the 1-drops. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll probably cut 1 Puncturing Light. We're hoping to kill things by attacking through the blocking. We don't need to worry about that. And we want things that can go faced, so maybe it's even both. We'll keep 1 for now. I think Borrowed Grace is just a good potential finisher, especially because we are quite heavy on creatures, but it might be the removal choice here because we've got other things of pumping things and working it through. We'll go without the Chasm for now because I think we can get enough tempo going, and we've got 6 points, 9 points of burn to the face if we need it. That's pretty solid, and having 2 Fiendbinders and 2 Priests is going to make it hard to get through. I think here we're probably taking out maybe the Cathar. In fact, maybe the Neonate. We've got 1-drop, but the Neonate helps us rummage. I think we need that, especially if we've got the Toppelgeist. Because it helps with the Delirium. There was no other Delirium though, was there? Not that I can think of. 3 cuts, so still think that 15 creatures is fine. We can lose, excuse me, we can lose 1. So maybe we cut 1 Cathar. Looking at this deck, actually, we can probably cut a land. So what's the ratio here? We're 16 to 6. So yeah, we can go 16 lands, then we just need 1 more cut. The thing is, our red cards are our better cards, so we can't just go too far into the mono white area. Technically we could. We've got Borrowed Grace, Daunt's Cathar, Reapers, but we lose Hanway Garrison, Collective Defiance, Fiery Temper, Incendiary Flow. And those are 4 very powerful cards. I'm still really considering it, but no, I think this is the right colours. It's just whether I can justify going to 13 creatures or not, or do I have to get rid of something else? I mean, Hope Against Hope is optimistic, but I think here it might just be one copy of Strength of Arms and leave it at this. This seems reasonable. Very aggressive. We're going to have to be pushing through. I really wanted another Strength of Arms, but do we need 2 priests? Do you know what? Maybe we cut a priest in exchange for the Strength of Arms. There we go. I think the priest is really useful, but we don't ever need 2. So I think this is the right list. So there we are. We've got a red-white aggro deck. We're going to go into some games and see how this goes. Hopefully we'll have fun, and I'll see you there. Okay, we are back. I'm just having a quick look through the deck. It has been a couple of days since I recorded the draft, so I just want to remind myself and see where we're going with here. I remember there being 2 Guardian's Priests I didn't want to put in one of them. Yeah, there's the other one. A Cutter Puncturing Light. I'm thinking, maybe these didn't quite fit, and Alchemist Greeting was a bit expensive, so all in all, this is a really aggressive, tempo-y list. I think Strength of Arms, it seems like this is the sort of list where Strength of Arms could really outperform. So we'll have to see how this goes. It could also be really good with our 2 equipments as well. Stitcher's Graft is medium, but it's great with Truth Face Sensor, so if we can get both together, especially on something like Handweir Garrison with a Griff Spoon, we can just churn out damage faster than you might imagine. We're going to have a flying little creature spurter. So let's jump in and see what we get. I'm really looking forward to trying this out. I haven't played a red-white aggro list in so long. I used to be quite against it. It wasn't the thing I enjoyed the most. It was something I found a little bit less interesting. But given that I've not played it in a few years, I'm more than happy to try it out and give it a bit of go and see what fun we can have. So hopefully we'll be finding a game soon. I'm not going to talk out the queue if it goes for an hour, a couple of minutes, things like that. But given how this format has been quite interesting to me, I'm definitely keen to see where this goes. I'm not going to be doing too many more of these, probably 1 or 2. I might have a look at some for the next format, that sort of thing. But I'm looking at deciding what game to do next. One of the ones I'm considering is Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, the Warhammer 40k Grey Knights game. It's quite likely that's going to be something I want to play, but what I want to hear is what you guys would love to see. So Hades is one of the options that I'm going to be looking at in the future. I'm sort of going to build up to that once I've got a few more viewers on there. This looks great. We've got 1 drop into 2 drop, 2 different 2 drops, and a removal spell. I'm absolutely just playing this. Gossip Monger. The interesting thing here is whether we attack or not, and it depends entirely on what they play. If they play nothing, we're probably just going to go with Deranged Whelp and tap it. But we'll pass for now, because this isn't sorcery speed, so we can do it whenever we want to. So we'll see what they have to offer. If they play something we can kill with our removal here, then we're just going to do that and just churn out damage. So we might as well just do this, see what they do in response. Nothing. Okay. So we will attack with both, see what they've got. Nothing. They got a removal spell here, it looks like. We could have a pump spell, but we're not going to, so yeah, if we had our Strength of Arms, that would be fantastic here, but we just have to accept our fate at this point. No point investing in it. But we can place a Guardian Priest. And the fact we can follow it up with at least 1 removal spell, we're 1 mana away from another one. Okay, yep, we're going to deal with that. Okay, we really want to be able to play Collective Defiance. I'm not going to play any more lands. I'm just going to save those for Collective Defiance, apart from 1 more mountain I will play. Because we need to try and just get the most value out of this possible. And I think it would be silly not to, especially... Hope Against Hope is interesting. Again, just going to attack here. Not going to rush anything. Hope Against Hope isn't worth playing out unless we know what's going on. There's our red source, so we can just keep attacking. The worrying thing about this is we've actually got 6 damage of burn in hand, plus Hope Against Hope as well. So we could potentially be just hitting for tons next turn. They need to play something here, or start removing things maybe. Okay, so they've gone for Descend Upon the Sinful. They don't have Delirium. So the question is, do we just push for face damage here? I actually think maybe we do. Go for that and see what else we can find. So Here I think we pass. We didn't draw anything, we don't have any pump spells, we don't have anywhere dealing with that. We just need to get some damage through. Fury Blade Vampire, yeah. Faithbearer Paladin, now that's something we're going to kill. So we've got the Cathar, which means we can't quite do all of this in one go. How much is the... yeah, it's not even an easy one, so we're going to have to just do that next turn, I believe. So this turn we are going to do creature, an opponent or planeswalker. I don't think we need to discard our hand. So we deal that to the creature, that to the opponent. Auto pay. And now that we don't have anything else to stop us, we're just going to play this on the grounds that there are routes that could get us more tools here. We just want to see no more lifelink. Okay, so if they've got a discard here, that would be really good for them. We're going to save the Hope Against Hope for after Cathar being on the battlefield, because then they might just have an awkward save, like an awkward defensive profile against it, like leave the Pilgrim behind. Neonate works well with this as well, because now we've actually got 2 lethal threats they don't know about, and one of them is Menace, so they need to basically hold back multiple blockers here or have removal spell for the Neonate. And even if they have removal, things we can do. Okay, so this is going to exile it. That's fine. They could then attack here. We need to draw one more creature to make this lethal if that's the case. Yeah, so the vampire, they got a discard. No, they're just going to go to attack for 3. So we just need to draw one creature here and hope they don't have a removal spell. Okay, that just about does it. Eternal Scourge. Okay, they have got an interaction though. So it's something they can do, so maybe it's a pump spell. I think we have to go for this regardless and see what we can do. They can remove this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if they have something, they have to do it. There's nothing else that we can do about it. We just have to go for the attack here. But we've got Eternal Scourge, which is very hard for them to deal with overall. Because we can just keep casting it every turn. We can block the Guardian. We can attack. You know, we're not gonna struggle immediately because we can just use this defensively until we need it offensively. Okay, that's good for them. That's really good for them, actually. So they can't attack with this, they can attack with that. We've still got an attack back. Fiendbinder would be good here. In fact, it'd be very good. It would force them to be super defensive. We could do with... I mean, that's fine, yeah, it gets exiled. They do get to push in for 3, but we can just cast this again next turn. There we go, that's a great draw. This is a really solid board set. Now they can't even attack easily. If they attack with this, we just block with the Cathar. The Juggernaut, yeah. Okay. So at this point we just pass. Don't know what we do about the Juggernaut. I think we probably just let it through. It's unlikely they're going to have too much burn, but we'll see what they've got here. I think we just no block this. We could have maybe, if that's, is that trample is the question. It's not trample, so maybe we could have blocked with this and start going with flyers. That's a good draw. I think we just pass here. Oh, no, wait, not pass. Oh, we shouldn't have passed. We should have attacked with something. In fact, maybe we should have attacked with both, because then if they don't block, we just kill them. That was probably the play, actually. Dawn-Griff, yeah. If they discard... Okay, so now I think we attack. Because they're going to probably not want to block too much. Discarding this... no, because that makes it a 4-drop. So... yeah, there isn't an attack here. The only real attack is attack with both and pray. But no, there's no attack here. I think we missed our chance to attack, so we're going to have to... There was one turn where we should have attacked and that could have been lethal, or it was a bad block on their part. This isn't too bad for us if they go for it. This is bad. I think we just go for the desperation attack next turn and see if they make a mistake. Yeah, that's fine. Now they got something that they're going to want to block with anyway. Yeah, so here we just have to attack. See if they block anything. They obviously will. Interesting. This is very good for us. I don't know if we can quite deal with everything. Yeah, we can block 2 things. It does mean we're going to have to lose our Hanwir garrison. So this thing untaps a billion times. Oh no, because that gives it menace, doesn't it? Yeah, we're out of luck here. So we are basically dead. They can equip this to either thing and then they win. But as to whether or not they spot that, they should do. Yeah, there we go. Well played. We did miss that one turn we could have attacked, so I think that's probably what cost us this game. So we'll have to learn better for next time, as just to sort of... Because we had the pressure then, we didn't have our life total taking as much of a hit, we had a few extra turns, so we could have forced the action a little bit earlier, and that gave them more time to develop, and we didn't draw more relevant things. So, bit of a mistake on our part. I think we could have maybe won that one, because I think there's a chance that either they don't block or they make the same double block, and we get the blowout at that point. So, going for a second game. I think we need to just be more aware of how quickly we can end people. I think Collective Defiance was obviously the correct choice there. I'm trying to figure out whether going for the Neonate play, because we knew they had something, we didn't know quite what it was. Blessed Alliance was probably the best thing they could have had. I mean, it really was just an absolute blowout. Putting them to the point where it killed our creature and gained them 4 life, took them from being essentially at 0 on board to being at 7, and we just couldn't push through any further. So I do need to sort of... I mean, that card was incredible in the format. Like, it was always really good. So I just need to make sure I've got more awareness of what's going to be coming up against us. Okay. See, I'm not even trying to just stall for some of these queues. I'm just chatting and talking out my thought processes. Bit of a Gianni. But yeah, and the queues aren't lasting any longer, which is great. 2 drops and 3 drops. Hanwir Garrison potentially with an Incendiary Flow to follow it up. It's a shame we're not going first, but we could draw a Town Gossipmonger. Yeah, no reason to do anything about that. No, we didn't. So we'll go White Source first. Pass the turn. This is going to be interesting. So, depending on what they play, we want to play a defensive creature against it, basically. Deranged Whelp. Okay, so we can't do anything against either of those, so we probably just want to play our Guardian Pilgrim. So Guardian Priest, actually, because that does defend against things we can play other 2 drops and activate next turn. So this doesn't block anything now, but it's more useful in future turns, because we probably don't want to play the Garrison out straight away anyway, because they're going to have some sort of removal. Here we go. That wouldn't have done it here, but they might have other removal as well. The question here is, do we Incendiary Flow just to save a bit of life? I think now that we've drawn the Cathar, we don't. It means that next turn we can play 2 things, but next turn we almost definitely do. So this is a great Incendiary Flow target for them. We kind of want to just... Ooh, 4 colour. 3 colour rather. Okay, so they've got another Whelp, so they're going to get it for 3. I think we need to Incendiary Flow the Dragoon here. Okay, well they missed the damage for the Neonate. Because we're not going to get many turns where we can do this safely. And we probably do want the Guardian of Pilgrims as the... Actually, does it even matter? There is that one card that deals 1 damage and makes a 1/1. We don't want to just die to that, so we'll take that. And we are going to Incendiary Flow the Dragoon this time, I believe. Oh, hang on. Sure, Cathar can have +1/+1. Just going to Incendiary Flow the Dragoon. It may be that these were the right choice, but I think getting rid of the discard outlets can be really important. We're not going to attack here. We're going to just hold back and try and squeeze out some blocks here, get some extra value out of things, and eventually just play Hanwir Garrison and Gossipmonger next turn, and go for just the unending stream of damage here. So we're just going to double block something. They can only kill 1. They probably want to kill the Guardian so we don't just get a 1/1 flyer back. But if they kill the Cathar, that's just straight up better for us. Yeah, they've killed the one that gives us value, not the one that doesn't, so that's perfect. So the question is, how do we go about this? Okay, so they've got to... Okay, they want to discard a vampire, that's fine. I would honestly prefer having the neonate on the battlefield at this point, because I think the neonate getting through additional damage is more important than this. So we are going to be going with Gossipmonger, and at this point I think Hanweir Garrison, because we can topple guys next turn. And we're just not going to attack here, because we're going to block with Guardian Pilgrim's Gossipmonger onto the vampire most likely. Ulrich, okay, well no wonder they're splashing. Yes, so are they going to attack with the vampire? They are. Okay, the vampire's a good block for us. If we block here, we can activate Gossipmonger. Oh wait, it's a tap ability. Oops. Oh well, it was worth it. This doesn't have trample, so we can Topplegeist it. Get our attack in here, make 2 more 1/1s. Play Deranged Whelp. And then we've also got the Cathar to play at instant speed to surprise them. We're probably going to want to be blocking with whatever we can here. But if they don't play any buff spells, we'll just block with everything and just ignore the Deranged Whelp. So here they're going to fight our garrison. That's fine. Hang on. Oh, it's only a sorcery speed. Oops. We didn't have that option anyway. I should have just done that last turn. So there goes our garrison. We're going to need to just activate this now. None of these have trample, do they? No, they don't. So I guess we just keep attacking in the air. Or the air and menace, rather. We're gonna be on the chump plan here. I don't think there's much else we can even do. This isn't going well, this draft. This is not going well at all. Tormenting Voice, as long as it's not a madness spell, we're in with a shot. We need to really find something that deals with Ulrich, which is going to be difficult. But they probably want to play a second spell, which is good. Here we just have to go with blocks. We can't take the hit from that, and we have to just take something else off the battlefield. What we really want here is a way of just getting this, or getting this activated even, maybe. Okay, a Cursed Witch is pretty bad. They could even pump our creature here, it wouldn't matter. It's not going to change things. The chances are we can't play a spell. Oh, that's not a good spell to play either. No attacks here. We don't have anything. We're just going to lose this, unfortunately. Ulrich can just kill something. And the worst part here is that they can go for the witch, kill this, and then just attack before we even get the opportunity to flip it. So if they... Oh no, this is the witch, it's not the... Oh wow, the Flying Hate. Okay, yeah, I mean... there was no winning from this position. We could literally just chump here, take 5, take 8. Wow. We're getting out aggroed. I'm glad this is something I said was probably the last draft of the format, but I'd love to hear what you guys would like to see. I'll probably start doing Chaos Gate soon because it's something I wanted to play and it was on sale, so that's something I can get going with fairly quickly. But I really want to get at least one win with this. I don't think this deck's that bad. Like, I think we've got a really solid deck. I'm really disappointed. Oh, match already. Really disappointed we've ended up 0-2. Hopefully, this is like dropping our MMR and we can come against someone who's got even less idea of what they're doing than we do. Okay, this is a good hand. So we'll start with Stitcher's Graft. Oh, that's a good point. We haven't even seen our equipment at all. I haven't seen Griffspoon. Griffspoon would have been great in the last game. Faith Unbroken's a good choice here. Yeah, we've actually missed most of our Voltron. This would have dealt with Ulrich. Yeah, we actually have more answers than I thought. Okay, we're doing fine. So basically this is 5 every other turn or 2 every turn. So this is still better. Yeah, Menace. I do think here we actually just equip and swing. Because I don't think going for 6 really makes a difference, whereas if you find Hanweir Battlements, we want that on there. And the fact that we can activate this for 4 is pretty safe as well, so I don't mind even playing it out and activating it immediately. Skulk's coming in, so we can take 2 here. Like, the fact we've got access to Faith Unbroken is really nice as well, because it just means we hit super hard, but we'd rather put it on a different creature. So what we're looking for here is a threat. That's not quite what we meant. But you know what? I don't even hate it. We can just use it to play a 1/1 and then buff that next turn, I guess. I think I just pass here and consider the value of maybe just playing a 1/1 and buffing it up a bit. Because we could end up with something really fun going on here, depending on what they play. Emperor Wolf, yeah. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're just going to go for the pump here, especially if we draw a white source. Okay, we're not anymore. So we'll just go for the big attack here. Get it all big and beefy. Hit for 10. Play Dauntless Cathar. And then equip it with Stitcher's Graft. Sacrifice that permanent. We've now got a 6/5, but we can make it 7, 8, 9, 10 if we draw a white source. So we're not out of this yet. And of course, when this gets unattached, at least we get a flyer. Just we're not completely out of the woods. A bounce spell here is pretty brutal if they bounce Stitcher's Graft. I forgot that. I'll be honest, I did forget it sacrificed things. I probably wouldn't have done that had I realised. I probably waited. Tried to go for something next turn. Okay, Drownyard Explorers is good for us, especially if they attack with a few things. I would be tempted, yeah, to do pretty much that. Okay. Honestly, I think we just... What do we do here? I don't know what we do. Because we can't win over 2 turns unless we draw a white source. So I think here we just want to Faith Unbroken this and take out something like the Deranged Whelp. We don't want to give them another Explorers. So let's just take that out of the equation and just pass the turn. Use this as a blocker. If we could give it Vigilance, that would have been great, but we can't. So we just need to, again, hope for a white source. Ooh. Oh, interesting. They got that back. Well, now we're just dead. And we lose 0-3. Perfect. Well, I was hoping to do some quick videos today, but... Interesting. So how does Faith Unbroken work? These aren't enchant creature... Oh, because it falls off because I no longer control the creature, of course. Yep. Yep. That is a 0-3. That is embarrassing. We didn't draw any of our good stuff. We had so many things to offer to that game. Well, this is going to be a quick video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please do hit the like and subscribe buttons. Drop a comment. Let me know how disappointed in me you are. I don't think we even get a pack. Oh, we do get 1 pack. Let's look at the misery pack. This better be something good. We'll save this for another format and just pass over for now. I mean, it's Olivia Mobilised for War. That was a cool card. It wasn't great, but it was cool. Oh, I'm so disappointed. But yeah, like, drop a comment. Let me know how disappointed you are in me. How would you have built the deck? Because I've clearly made some sort of mistakes in that front. I'd love to hear what you guys think as well. If you want to support it, you can subscribe. You can join the Patreon in the description. But most importantly is thank you so much for watching. This is probably the last Magic video in a while. But most importantly is to have a good day.